Wow, that was just a great and huge success for Ahly. The Egyptian side were emerged champions of the CAF Champions League, 10 times champions they are. And you can imagine what we did see right there. They were more, they outplayed the Kaizer's chief side, and also they were more synergized, and they understood themselves rather better. And eventually, at the end of the day, some people will say 10-man Kaizer's chief, but then I feel that's not the issue. There is no excuse for failure. This happened, and eventually they were crowned champions. Taye, I want to come to you this time around. It's a good news for the Egyptian Giants, 10 times champions. In your own version, how well does this speak for not just the league, also for the country?
Yes, he shows that with this performance, there are things they are doing well. And this should be a sort of a courtesy call for Nigeria, because whenever we go to competition of this magnitude, we don't get to do well. You know, the last time we ever got to the final was Enyimba, and that was a long time ago. So for a country, for a particular club from a country to have won 10 times, that means they understood the terrain. And majority of these guys, they played at home. Some of them, even when you look at Egyptian national team, very few of them are playing in Europe. So it shows that the league is developed, the players are being taken care of. And if the same thing is being translated here, we are going to get the same results. So it's not cast in stone. So it's not that they are really doing something magnificent. It's something that Nigeria also can learn from. But it's so sad that we don't learn from the good ones.
Talking about learning, I'm going to come to you, Joe. Talking about learning, do you think the Nigerians can actually learn with what we've seen so far? The only thing that we'll brag about is winning the CAF Champions League back-to-back. And just like he did mention, 2003, 2004. But ever since then, we've not even come close. So talking about learning, do you think we are ready to learn and surpass? Is it a case of surpassing? This is 10, I beg your pardon, but at least to some sort of level. Can we really attain this level with what we have so far?
Yeah, it's not that we can't, but it's a case of, are we ready? Because we have the manpower, yeah? We have the finance to do it, but the problem is corruption has really taken a toll on a lot of our administrators, and they know these things. Imagine right there in Egypt, you have about over 1,000 foreign players playing in that league, you know, and one of the best league in Africa, I must say. And it's not like we can't do, we can. We have a Nigerian in Egypt. Amonike is there, one of the teams also. So we can do this, but we have to really do it from the grassroots. A lot of things have to be put in place. Administrative-wise, you just have to take these guys out and bring in people that knows this business. This is football, it's business. Already they have one of the best endorsements in Africa as I'm talking to you. Now they won the title the 10th time. And for God's sake, these guys have something else. Yeah, we can, but it's not a one-day thing.
Wow, that is good for Ahly, and also that is good for the country. Talking about Egypt, also not writing off the fact that mini football took place right here in Nigeria, right there at Ibadan, and eventually they were debutants as well, the Egyptian, and they were the one who emerged champion of that competition. What that means is that they are doing pretty well. They understand, they know their onion well, and that's why they are getting good results. Just a lone goal against Libya, that was how it ended in mini football. Just because of time, let's quickly look at the Nigerian Professional Football League. That's our own, that we can talk about. We saw a lot of results over the weekend. Kano Pillars against Dakada FC. Kano Pillars winning by 2-0. Nasarawa United against MFM, 1-0. Rivers United against Aqua United. That's a huge game for Rivers United. That ended in 1-1 draw. Enyimba up against Jigawa. I saw that goal coming from Tosi. It was so amazing. 2-1 it ended. Heartland against Rangers. 2-1 it ended in favor of Heartland of Owerri against Enugu Rangers. Fletcher United against Ifeanyi. I wonder what is happening with Ifeanyi. Well, that game ended in 4-0 in favor of Fletcher United. Castina against Lobby Stars. Castina winning that one with just 1 goal against Lobby Stars, who didn't score in that one. Wiki Tourist against Abia Warriors. What a great save coming from Ojo Olorunsola. And I think that was the reason why it ended by 1-0 because he made a great save for the Abia side. Warri Wolves against Quarry United ended in 1-0 against Quarry United. Then another one, huge one, if you ask me, is Adamawa United against Sunshine Stars. Sunshine Stars, the new coach came on board and said, you know what, we are not going down relegation, and it seems it's coming to fruition. Do you think this will happen eventually, Joel? They won't go down relegation because right now, if we check the log, Nigerian Professional Football League, they are currently 16 on the table and 5 games more to go. So what should we be expecting?
Well, yeah, now from 16 down, they shouldn't say, look, I'm not going to relegation. You just have to put your acts together and really fight. I know it seems like Adamawa United, they're short relegation, just 24 points. And Warri Wolves, I don't know, they just have to keep they just have to keep fighting and try to win games. Probably pick 1 or 2 home games, win those games, and probably go away and pick a draw so you can stay afloat, because it's 3 teams down and 3 teams coming from the NNL. So it's a big fight from the 16th position down. Sunshine should be careful so they don't, follow relegation. But I mean, the bottom 3, Warri Wolves, Ifeanyi Ubah. I don't know what's happening with Ifeanyi Ubah. I don't know. Probably players are complaining of not payment of salaries and all that. So because sometimes players can be very funny. If you're not treating them well, they won't play a game for you. So I mean, from 16 that is looking kind of dicey for these teams.
Yeah, it is.
But let's see what happens probably when you have just 1 game to go.
All right. He said 1 game to go in his own. But I think we have 5 more games to go. And as we speak currently,
5 more games.
Yeah, Aqua United, they are currently leading that table with 61 points, while the likes of Nasarawa United coming close. Bala Mukiyu, who happens to be the coach, is also speaking tough. Let's wait and see what will happen. 58 points they do have. That means just 3 points away from Abia United and Nasarawa United. And Kano Pillars too, not writing them off as well. 58 points too. But before we call it a wrap on the show, Tayo, it's looking like it's going to be Aqua United's season, because the way they are going, not just Aqua United, also Aqua Starlets as well. Remember, they just recently gained promotion in the Nigerian Professional Football League. Also, they are not doing badly because they are currently 10th on the log. But Aqua United, pretty well where they are. Could it be a case of good administration or good management?
That is the only, that's the best way to describe it, because the truth is, like Joel said, if you don't play well, if you don't treat the players well, they won't play for you. And there is nothing you can do. They will boycott the match, and it will all boil down to the states and the administrator at the end of the day. But it's a good one for them, but they just need to watch their back, because it's just 3 points.
I love that word.
So they need to keep picking all the points, at least the next 3 games. If they can win it, can be rest assured that the league is theirs. But without that, I don't see.
So what it means, it's going to boil down to the last game.
That has to be.
Wow. I love this because the competition is so high. If you ask me, we've got a lot of stories to talk about, but time will not permit us to do that. But trust me, on Wednesday when we come back, we'll be talking more as to the FIFA plans to reduce football games from 90 minutes to 60 minutes. But then before we go, just 1 or 2 transfers making the headways. We've seen the likes of Chelsea to make £50 million transfer move for Lewandoski. Will this happen eventually?
In football, a lot of things happen. No one can tell, not until like 5 minutes to the end of the transfer. You see players running, trying to catch late transfer signatures and all that. It could happen. It's football. Lewandowski, I think he wants to apply his trade somewhere else. I really tell him he's a good player. It can happen. I mean, the owner of Chelsea is well to do. He has all the funds to do it. He's going to get Haaland soon enough with 5 players and money to give to Dortmund and get Haaland. So it can happen. Finally, we've seen the likes of Oliver Giroud as well move to AC Milan. And we do have the likes of Abramovich as well, still with the club. With Giroud coming to AC Milan, what does this speak for the club? Because I don't know how the coach wants to play the likes of Giroud and also Abramovich. It's simple. It's a matter of, playing information that's going to suit both players in the attack. And I'm very sure AC Milan is going to give him free hand to operate, like what he did in Arsenal. Because when you give Giroud a free hand to operate, it brings out the best in him. Look at Chelsea. He had just how many games? 77 games, and how many goals? But in Arsenal, he had everything off free ride, and he got the goals for them. So it's a case of probably 4-4-2 and have him and Zlatan in front. So that's quite formidable.
Tayo, will Giroud do well for AC Milan?
Definitely. He's a senior player, and he has played at the top level, winning the World Cup, played at the Champions League final. With all those experiences, I think he's going to be a good addition to the side. And I don't see any, although you know the attitude of Ibrahimovic.
Exactly, because I was going to come to that.
You know, there are times that he might just say, I've never heard the name Giroud. But I just feel the guy will do well with the experience he has gotten.
Okay, just to put you guys on sports this time around, you are in a game, and both of you are coaches. I'm trying to paint a scenario here. Both of you are coaches and your various team, and you are in dire need of goal. Like, you need someone to come and salvage the situation and save the scenario for that event. And you've got Giroud, and also you've got Ibrahimovic. I'm going to start with you.
Okay. I'm just going to compare both series and the record. I'm not going to put age here right now. I'm going to compare both series. But I have to compare both series. I'll go for Zlatan.
Your own case?
Well, for me, I'll go for Giroud, because one, Giroud is workaholic, and he might not score in that particular match, but he will definitely create an assist.
The age gap is not much.
Well, they said different folks for different, and different strokes for different folks. For me, I reserve my comment because I'm not entitled to make this around. Perhaps after the show, I will state who I will be going for. But finally, before we call it a wrap on the show today, finally, Barcelona, it's no longer news that Messi has signed a 5-year contract with the team. But now the coach has come out to say that he's not leaving the club because there is a 600 million euros buyout clause for Lionel Messi. Is it a case of loyalty ahead of career, or career ahead of loyalty, Tayo?
Well, for me, Messi has won everything for Barcelona. And the truth is, the way it is now, Messi is the one that is at advantage. Because if he plays, if he doesn't play, he will get his money. But Barcelona just need to start rebuilding. Because their case might just end up being a Manchester United case. Sir Alex Ferguson, they are used to it. So nobody has been able to actually get the job done for them. So if Messi will eventually leave one day, so the best thing is start a life without Messi.
Just one word, Joel. If you were to be Lionel Messi, would you extend your contract or would you go somewhere else?
Now, looking at the marketing part of the whole thing, Messi is going to make a lot of money. The club is going to make a lot of money. How can he sign a 5-year contract? That should tell you this is business, big business. So for Messi staying is business for both teams. I mean, they reached an agreement. So I want to stay 5 years contract, more endorsements and more money. So that's it.
Well, that's what the sports talks about. It speaks business in every angle. So this time around, he's saying that both parties are in good business. Anyways, that's where we'll be drawing the curtain for today, for the show today. I want to say a very big thank you for being part of the show today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and to all our production team members who have made this to come to a fruition, we say a very big thank you to you. And also to our viewers out there, we do not take your participation for granted. We also say a very big thank you to you. Sport Matters will return on Wednesday. Until then, I remain...